Zimbabwe Revenue Authority. You know that it was established through an Act of Parliament, Chapter 2311, on the 19th of January 2001. This was done through the merger of the then Departments of Taxes and the Department of Customs and Excise. The inaugural Commissioner General, Mr. Gesham Tarawada Pasi, who has just addressed us, was appointed on the 1st of May 2001, and ZIMRA fully became operational on the 1st of September 2001. We've got a mandate like another organization, and our mandate is derived from the Revenue Authority Act, Chapter 2311, and other subsidiary legislation. And our first and foremost mandate is to collect revenue for the state. As the Commissioner General has highlighted, we are mandated to collect at least 95% of government revenue. Other revenue will come from various sources, fees, and so forth. Another mandate is to facilitate trade and travel, to advise government on fiscal and economic matters, and to protect civil society. I will now go on to unpack those facets of our mandate. In terms of revenue collection, there are various taxes that you are accustomed to. The customs duty, which you pay on imported goods, which is in terms of the Customs and Excise Act, Chapter 2302, the VAT, which is levied on consumption of goods and services, the excise duty levied on specified locally manufactured goods, income tax, which you are all familiar with, pay-as-you-earn, again, which you are all familiar with, presumptive taxation, this is otherwise called the informal traders tax, trying to bring in those from the informal sector, which is based on average income instead of actual income. The capital gains tax levied on the sale of immovable property and SETEX. Those are some of our major revenue heads, the taxes we collect on your behalf, honorable members. Due to our presence and our efficiencies, we've actually been quoted by other departments of government to collect specific taxes, the royalties and minerals. We are the sole agent again for issuing of the Road Traffic Act insurance policies and collecting premiums for all foreign registered vehicles entering Zimbabwe and foreign destined vehicles. And this started from the 1st of March in 2010. In terms of facilitating trade and travel, I think we are very visible at all the ports of entry and exit, at our airports, at our border posts. We facilitate as much as we can. The other mandate is to advise government on fiscal and economic matters. And in this realm, we've actually been very instrumental in the consummation of the value-added tax in 2004, which replaced sales tax. The presumptive taxation, which I've just spoken about, this is the otherwise called the informal traders tax, which we introduced in 2005. Self-assessment for income tax, which we introduced in 2007. And the much talked about issue, the fiscalization, which we introduced in 2010. Again, the mandate includes revenue forecasting for the state and advising on any legislative changes, especially that legislation that has got an impact on revenue generation and revenue creation. And then in the protection of civil society, we are charged with curbing smuggling and any forms of international trade-related crime, as well as enforcing import, export, and exchange controls. The above controls are also meant to protect the consumers against dangerous and harmful drugs, hazardous substances, expired drugs, pornographic, objectionable, or undesirable materials, harmful substances, and money laundering. I think drugs are really an issue. Money laundering is an issue. Pornography is an issue. I used to think that pornography was an issue for young people, but it is an issue even for adults. So we are charged to ensure that we protect society on that score. Like another organization, when we started, we crafted our own vision. We said, where do we want to go to? What's our vision? And we gave ourselves a vision, a very overarching vision, which is to be a beacon of excellence in the provision of services and facilitation of trade and travel. And that vision is derived from that mandate I've just articulated. And the implication of this vision is that ZIMRA is positioning itself as a center of excellence for benchmarking. When the Commissioner General gave his highlights, he actually alluded to the fact that we were very instrumental in the automation programs in various countries. You mentioned Seychelles, Lesotho, and other organizations. We've had various missions coming to Zimbabwe to learn from the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority how we are doing it. So we are basically positioning ourselves as a center of excellence for benchmarking purposes. We've got a mission as an authority, and that mission is predicated on our vision, on the reason for our being there. The mission is promoting economic development through efficient revenue generation and trade facilitation. And we are saying this can only be achieved by developing competent and motivated staff, using environmentally sustainable processes, and engaging with the global community in a socially responsible way. In other words, we're saying, let's have the right people in the right places, in the right positions. We are saying, let's be environmentally aware. Let's be aware of what is happening in our environment. I think also, the Commissioner General mentioned the fact that we have gone green. In other words, we're now using solar at some of our stations in Mapanda, Plumtree, and so forth, and we'll be rolling that out elsewhere. This is to be environmentally correct, so to speak. And in the global community, I'll mention, as I go on with my presentation, our various social responsibility programs. Because time to look at the figures alone is gone. We now need to look at the total business, not as in revenues alone, but you look at all those other facets. We've got our core values as an authority, we've got a motto. And our core values are integrity, transparency, and fairness. All our officers everywhere, they sing those core values. That's basically our Bible. Integrity, Ubuntu. We must be seen to be people of integrity. Transparency, whatever we do, is going to be transparent. And we need to be fair. And we've got a motto, which is, we are here to serve. If we find that we're not here to serve, please report, as has always been said. As an authority, we've got a strategic planning process. And I'll just take you through slowly the strategic planning process. We adopted the 3-year planning cycle as an authority. And the current one runs from 2013 to 2015. This 3-year plan is actually reviewed yearly to come up with an annual operational plan as an authority. And the authority is guided by what is called the triple bottom line approach. Sorry, I'll unpack that. I've just been saying it on my, as I discussed the mission, that we don't just look at the numbers, the revenue collected, but you look at the environment, you look at the social responsibility aspect as well. And the planning process is anchored on the balanced scorecard performance management system. And the balanced scorecard performance management system looks at 4 pillars. It's not just the finances again. So it's ZIMRA, when you just say finance, but you are saying, in terms of financials, that's the financial part. What are we doing? In terms of internal processes, what are we doing to bring in those finances? In terms of the customers, what are we doing to ensure that our customers, our clients, are actually happy? And in terms of our learning and growth, what are we doing to ensure that the people who work for ZIMRA are properly trained and are properly motivated? So those are the facets of the balanced scorecard system. Sorry. Something wrong with the technology there. Thank you. We've got strategic themes that we work with as an authority. And again, this is our Bible. Those 5 strategic themes. strategic partnerships. We seek to create and nurture strategic partnerships with the government, the various government departments, with you, our parliamentarians, with the global community, your COMESAs, your SADC, your African Union, your EAC, your ECOWAS, World Customs Organization, World Trade Organization, and other technical partners or donor agencies for support. Strategic partnerships, that's key to our operations. Technological innovation, how are we doing? Are we moving? With the global pace as far as technological innovation is concerned? Operational effectiveness, what are we doing to our processes to ensure that they bring real value to our clients, to our traveling public and the taxpaying public? The human capital management, are our people trained enough? Are they motivated enough to be effective and efficient in delivering value to our clients? And our revenue mobilization, are we finding new sources of revenue? I've highlighted the informal traders tax. These are the fiscal reforms that we've embarked upon. Are they really bringing in the fruits that we want Zimbabwe to enjoy? So those are our strategic imperatives or our strategic themes. We are guided by those as the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority. We've got a corporate dashboard, and I won't go into details of that corporate dashboard. If the commissioner, when the Commissioner General or any of the members of staff is anywhere in the world, you can be in a position to see how we are faring in all those areas. And this is anchored on the balanced scorecard system as well. We're saying on financial issues like our revenue collected as a percentage of GDP. We find that we're doing very well compared to other countries there. How are we widening our revenue base? Are we controlling our costs? And so on and so forth. In terms of customers, we do what are called client satisfaction surveys, which is actually done by an independent consultant, just to get an overview of how clients perceive us. In terms of internal processes, the main issue on internal processes there is on governance. Do we get clean audit reports? Are we like those other organizations that are being spoken about these days? The answer for ZIMRA is no. We are on top of the situation as corporate governance is concerned, honorable members. On our learning and growth, I think we in terms of research and development, are we doing our research as an authority? That is actually key. I won't go into those details on the corporate dashboard, just to say that we've got a corporate dashboard that we religiously monitor for performance. In terms of geographical location, honorable members, we have got we can say 4 regions. There's region 1, which is headquartered in Harare. It is basically in charge of Harare, Mrondera, Nyamapanda, Kariba, Chirundu, Mashonaland region. We've got your region 2, which is headquartered in Bulawayo, at Mshashandela Bulawayo. That is responsible for your being Victoria Falls, Kazungula, Pandamatenga, Maitengwe, Plumtree, Mpoengs, Gwanda, and very soon Mamabaka. That's your region 2. And you've got your region 3, which is basically your headquartered in Mashingo. This covers the rest of your Mashingo province, Manicaland province, Midlands province, and part of Mash West province, which is Chebutu and Kadoma. That's basically your region 3. You've got Beitbridge. Because of the strategic nature of Beitbridge, we made it a region on its own. So all the issues to do with Beitbridge, you see the regional manager of head office structures that are domiciled mainly in Harare. In terms of our achievements, I'll just run through a few. You already know others. We've got a client charter that is not there. We've got a client charter that spells out what you should expect from ZIMRA and what we expect from you, our clients. Our accounts have been audited religiously since 2001, and we've been getting clean audit reports. In terms of our targets, surpassing targets, From 2001 up to 2013, we only missed our targets 3 times because of some reasons. 2001, because that was the year of inception. We only started on 1st of September 2001. 2009, because of the advent of the multi-currency regime, the economy was just was still shaking from that transformation. In 2018, because of the current liquidity crunch and the low capacity utilization that we're experiencing as a country. And then revenue reforms, I've already mentioned, VAT, self-assessment, presumptive taxation, the creation of the large client office, fiscalization, and so forth. And then efficiency management. Since we started the authority, we've actually opened new border posts, Boyans being one, Sango, Maitengwe, and we've created Chirundu, we made Chirundu a one-stop border post, and plans are underway to make Forbes border post, Biden border post, and Namapanda one-stop border post as well. Operational hours have been increased at Biden Bridge. We used to open up to 10, now it's a 24-hour operation, and plans are underway to increase operational working hours for other ports of entry and exit as well. Real-time banking, we've actually partnered various banks. How this happens is you just go into a bank, you make your payment. As soon as you make your payment, that reflects at ZIMRA. So it's a way of bringing real convenience to our transacting public. Capacity building, we've partnered with the National University of Science and Technology and created and introduced the Bachelor of Commerce degree program and the Master of Science degree program in Fiscal Studies, which is running very well. The ZIMRA Training School has been accredited as a WCO ESA Regional Training Center for Capacity Building. That's a very serious achievement. That's a very serious accolade to be allowed to run WCO ESA program. This is East and Southern Africa. And then the Columbus report has actually said the literacy rate in ZIMRA is amongst the highest on the continent compared with other revenue authorities. And this is an indication that we are indeed a learning organization. We've introduced non-intrusive inspections. These are mobile scanners, what are called relocatable scanners, and what are called baggage scanners. This is in line with the WCO safe framework of standards. We've introduced the dog unit, we call it the canine unit. Again, that's in line. This is to care smartly, basically. And that's again in line with the WCO standards. In ICT, we've introduced the SAP system, and we're on the current version of the SAP system for reporting. And we are on the Scooter world system now. And in terms of customs best practices, we've embraced international accepted customs best practices in advanced passenger and cargo manifest, authorized economic operators, WTO valuation and customs risk management in response to what are called the safe framework of standards. Corruption, the Commissioner General has spoken about corruption. We've introduced the whistleblower initiative, where if you report any corrupt activity, you get 10% of whatever will recoup from that. There's the staff vetting, which is very critical before we employ you, during employment, and so on. And we have done an operation integrity at some of the border posts. I think at some stage we relieved of 47 people at Zimbabwe some years back, and recently I think there were 17, 19 people from Forbes border post. It only shows how seriously we view corruption. And social responsibility, we've undertaken various social responsibility activities as an authority since 2009, 2004. And this has culminated in the much talked about ZIMRA Charity Ball, which we hold in November every year. The money we raise there is for needy charities, elderly people's homes, children's homes, and other needy areas. People who need school fees at universities and other areas. Challenges. On achievements, I can go on and on until tomorrow. Challenges are corruption, tax evasion, smuggling, touting, and other forms of underground activity which destroy the economy. These are challenges which we face, but we always increase our activities. We always carry out our border patrols. will also do whatever is necessary to manage those. Inadequate funding, this is an issue. I can say from 2011 up to 2014, our operational budget has only increased by 12%, despite all the other activities which we have actually highlighted, the additional responsibilities which has been given to ZIMRA. The informalization of the economy, this is a very good thing, but it is very difficult to collect from this particular sector. But we are working on it so that at least we bring them into the revenue net as well. The low capacity utilization and the liquidity crunch, clients failing to pay in full and on time, resulting in low revenues for the state. Those are some of the challenges we face as an authority. In terms of the governance structure, we've got a board currently made up of 4 non-executive members, with the permanent secretary for finance and economic development, and Mr. Gesha Mpasi, our Commissioner General, as ex-official members. We've got an organizational structure which manages all the things I've been talking about. That mandate made up of 9 managers. Of those 9 managers, 3 are commissioners, 1 commissioner for domestic taxes, another commissioner for customs and excise, and a commissioner for investigations and international affairs. We've got 6 directors, legal and corporate services, director of finance, corporate planning and modernization, director ICT and infrastructure development, director human resources and administration, director loss control, and director internal audit. So in terms of the governance structure, that is the governance structure that is actually managing the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority now. Future plans. The acquisition of the ZIMRA head office, this is key to us. With this, the high automation agenda which the Commissioner General has spoken about, and the facilities to manage that whole area, they've got to make a very safe place. At the moment, we are dotted all over, and the times parking is very difficult at Kulima and other offices. We want a head office where we can bring real convenience to our transacting public. The redevelopment of Bayern Bridge, we just hope, we pray that the PPP that was aimed by which will be resuscitated sooner rather than later. The Forbes, Namapanda, and the one-stop border post implementation there. The redevelopment of Bayern Bridge, Forbes, Namapanda border post for possible one-stop border post implementation. And then the construction of the ZIMRA training center in Downtown. That's another key. And then full automation of the authorities' processes. These are our future plans. Honorable members, on this note, I thank you very much. Thank you for the listenership.